Michael Reeves had been married to Claire for 3 years. On the outside, theirs was the picture of a perfect life, a beautiful home, matching luxury cars, and weekends spent hosting elegant dinners for friends. But behind the expensive wine and practiced smiles, cracks were forming. Michael's best friend since college, Daniel, was practically family. He had been best man at their wedding, godfather to Michael's niece, and a regular at their Sunday brunches. Which is why the betrayal was so sharp when Michael noticed little things. Lingering glances between Daniel and Claire, hushed conversations that ended when he entered the room, and a sudden insistence from Claire that Daniel just needed a friend because he was going through a rough patch. One afternoon, Michael came home early to grab a forgotten file. He saw them through the half-open kitchen blinds, Daniel's hand on Claire's waist, her lips brushing his cheek a little too long. They didn't notice him. His blood ran cold, but he didn't storm in. Not yet. Michael knew his emotions could ruin him if he acted now. Divorce was inevitable, but so was protecting what he had worked for. His assets were worth millions, and Claire had a way of twisting stories to her advantage. So he played it cool. The next day, he called a private investigator, a wiry, no-nonsense woman named Evelyn who specialized in infidelity cases. "Don't just get me proof," Michael said. "Get me everything." Over the next month, Evelyn delivered. Photos, hotel receipts, text messages so explicit they made Michael's stomach churn. It was enough to end the marriage 10 times over. But Michael still didn't file. Instead, he called his financial advisor and began quietly shifting assets. Properties were transferred to a family trust in his sister's name. Stocks and accounts moved into legally protected investments. The classic cars? Sold to his cousin for a single dollar. Paperwork signed, notarized, and airtight. Claire noticed none of this. She was too busy enjoying her affair, convinced Michael was too blind or too trusting to suspect a thing. Then, one Tuesday evening, Michael invited her to dinner at her favorite French restaurant. She dressed to kill, expecting perhaps a reconciliation attempt or a romantic gesture. Instead, halfway through the appetizer, Michael slid a thick manila envelope across the table. "For you," he said evenly. Claire opened it. Photographs, transcripts of messages, and finally divorce papers. Her face went pale, then flushed with rage. "You can't just," she started. Michael cut her off, voice calm but edged with steel. "Everything you thought you were getting from me? Gone. I made sure you leave with exactly what you brought into this marriage." "You can't do that," she hissed. "Oh, I can. And I have." He leaned in. "You played a game you didn't understand. I play to win." She stormed out, but the real blow came 2 weeks later in court. The judge, faced with undeniable evidence of adultery and airtight asset protection, awarded Claire nothing but a box of her personal belongings. Daniel, who she thought might be her fallback, had mysteriously stopped answering her calls. Evelyn's investigation had uncovered that Daniel had been using her for access to Michael's business contacts. Once the affair became public, those doors slammed shut. In the span of a month, she had lost her husband, her reputation, her financial safety net, and her new love. Michael, meanwhile, signed the final papers with a faint smile. Justice, after all, was best served with patience and a little bit of planning.